Hello, I'm Lucinda Joseph. Today we'll be talking about turtle conservation and how important it is to save Malaysian turtles from disappearing from our shores. WWF Malaysia has dedicated this year, 2009, for turtle conservation and has been on a road trip with their Egg Equals Life conservation campaign to save turtles. Our guest in the studio today is Grace Duraisingham from WWF, Nelleisa Omar, and Chong Heuy Meim, who volunteers for this campaign. Welcome to the studio.
Thank you.
Grace, could you start off by telling us a little bit about the nature of turtles?
Okay, turtles basically are reptiles. They breathe air. Not many people know. People think because they live in the ocean, they are fish. Yeah. But they're reptiles. They need to breathe air, so they need to come up to the surface to breathe. Very interesting. And then when they lay eggs, they actually need to come back onto the beach to lay eggs. So that their eggs, the babies that develop inside, don't drown in the water because they also need to breathe air. So,
what are the types that we have here in Malaysia?
Here in Malaysia, we have 4 out of the 7. So basically, in the world, there's 7 species of turtles currently surviving. We have 4. We have the green turtles, we have hawksbills, olive ridleys, and also leatherbacks. Yeah.
How do we differentiate them?
Basically, leatherback is actually the biggest species of turtle among all the 7, and they are distinctively different because they don't have a very hard shell. They actually have a soft shell, so that's why they're called the leatherbacks. It's a very leathery carapace or their shell, you know. The hawksbills were named the hawksbills because their beak, their mouth, is actually in the shape of a hawk's bill, so that's why they get their direct name being the hawksbills. Green turtles, slightly more rounded, the shape of their beak. But the reason why they call them the greens is because they feed mainly on seagrass, and so the fat deposits in their body is actually a greenish greenish coloration. Yeah, so that's why.
Okay, and could you tell us a little bit about their migration habits?
Okay, basically turtles are migratory species, meaning the turtles in Malaysia who come to nest in Malaysia don't necessarily live in Malaysia all year round. So we have done research called satellite telemetry, whereby we actually affix a satellite transmitter on the carapace of the turtles, and from this we can actually track their movements. So from down in Malacca, we've actually tracked 8 turtles so far who's been...
Whereabouts in Malacca?
In Malacca, there's a turtle management center which is run by the Department of Fisheries in Padang Kemunting, and so we work very closely with them. So out of the 8 turtles that have been deployed with satellite transmitters, all of them have moved south to the Riau archipelago. So, you know, it shows that just because they come and nest in Malacca doesn't necessarily mean that, you know, they live within Malaccan waters.
How often do they come on shore?
Basically, turtles don't nest all year round. So, for example, the hawksbill turtles, they nest sort of alternate years, so once in 2 years, sometimes maybe once in 3 years. And in one nesting season, meaning in 1 year when they come up, they can nest up to 4, maybe 5 times. Yeah.
And is it certain types of turtle comes to different shores, or?
So far in Malacca, we've only seen hawksbills. We haven't encountered any green turtles thus far. Green turtles are mainly in Terengganu, and also the leatherbacks, which used to nest in Rantau Abang. The leatherback population in Malaysia is actually being considered functionally extinct, and what this means is that there is a very small number of nesting currently. So every year there's about a handful, less than 10. And what functionally extinct means is that actually the population cannot recover by itself. You see. So eventually the population will disappear.
Okay.
Yeah.
And amongst all these, which one's considered endangered?
All species of turtles in the world are considered endangered. The hawksbills and leatherbacks are critically endangered under IUCN.
Okay.
Yeah.